Hey y'all, welcome to the Bulletproof Marriage Podcast. Today makes our 15-year anniversary of not being married but dating. So, same difference. We've been together for 15 years. I asked Alan this morning, hoping to trick him, and I was like, "What's today?" And he looks at his calendar and he knew. So I was like, "Well, darn, didn't get to trick you today."
Yeah, I said it's April Fool's Day. I know what she was talking about. So, in other words, I'm still not done playing April Fool's joke on you
Yeah, I
yet.
asked him if the
I'm
joke was over
still
yet.
playing the joke.
Today's been April Fool's Day for sure because we have been a little today.
I've been playing this joke for 15 years. I'm doing pretty good.
Well, you did pretty good, I guess, but it costed you a lot of money.
It's an expensive one. It's an expensive joke. She ain't kidding.
I would have took a cheaper route.
No. That's fun in that.
Today, we just wanted to talk a little bit about love languages, and I did look it up, and the statistics show that 40 to 50% of marriages end in divorce. That's quite a bit of marriages to end in a divorce. And that's first marriages. If you go to a second marriage, it's 60 to 67%.
I had stuff I want to talk about before you jumped all into that.
Oh, well, you didn't tell me. See, this is what I mean. We just go right into it. We don't.
I got my haircut today. I want to talk about my haircut.
Oh, well, we'll talk about your haircut.
Don't it look nice?
Yeah. Yeah, I told you it looked nice earlier.
I know.
I told him I wanted to learn how to cut hair like that. Because I can cut hair. I just can't do that whole fading thing. It's going to be one length if I cut it.
The guy at Old Town Barber does an awesome job. He always does it the way you like it. Fades it out and everything.
If I faded it, we got a line going around that looks like a bowl cut. Looks like we put a bowl on his head.
I just go with it. But I want to tell you a little bit about what happened because I was saving it for the podcast before I told you. I went to go get my hair cut this morning. I don't know. I never really have an urge to go get my hair cut. But I did. So I left about 9 o'clock. And I sat there till about 11 because he's really busy. Everybody loves him. So it was packed out. But after I got my hair cut, I went and got some lunch. I went to Subway. And then I left Subway. And I was headed home. And as I pulled out of the parking lot at Subway and got to where Sheets is, there's a road across from there that take you to where the bridge is closed over in Tazewell now, where y'all take the kids to school that way.
I don't know how many times I've almost cut off at that exit to take Allie to school.
Well, I got to right there. Something popped in my head, said, turn around. So I said, all right. I turned around. I said, where are we going? Because I know the Holy Spirit talked to me. The Holy Spirit had me drive all the way to our church. So I drove all the way over to the church. I parked at the front doors, and I got out. And the Lord said He wanted me to pray over the church service for tomorrow. So I grabbed a hold of the doors, and I prayed over the church. And I said, there you go, Lord. I said, I don't know what that was for. I said, but I was obedient. I listened to you, got back in my truck, and I come home. I was wanting to save that. I don't know why He did that.
Well, did He tell you on the way there, or did you have to get there first?
No, it just said turn around. I kind of had like the feeling like He's wanting me to pray on the way over there. So, but I didn't know why we was praying until I got there. I don't know what the urgency and cause was. All I know is that He wanted me to pray over the church and for people to come in tomorrow and for all the lost sheep because they know their shepherd. They need to find their way back. So it was just a little prayer that He had me doing there. I found that pretty interesting because it's something that don't happen all the time.
Yeah, and I guess it was the Lord telling you that He needed you to do something, and that's why you had to go get your haircut, or you need to go get your haircut.
That's why I got to thinking later. I was like, that's kind of weird because I care less. It could grow and grow. I don't care, but
don't we know?
I had that urge, and that was kind of start the morning out, and I guess that's why.
Yeah, and then he got irritable with me because I wanted breakfast, and I told him whenever he left because he woke me up and said, Becca, I'm going to get my hair cut. And I said, okay. He said, I'm going to get my hair cut. I don't guess he heard me. And I was like, okay. Because I don't like being woke up.
I
It's
was
not
wanting to
my
make
favorite
sure
thing.
you heard what I was saying and you weren't still half asleep.
So then after that, after I got the okay out, then I was like, will you get me breakfast on your way back? And he was like, yeah.
And but I didn't get to get it because
And
I've sat there. She texted me. She's like, "Never mind. Me and Bo's gonna ride out and get it ourselves." I was like, "Okay."
yeah, because I knew that guy was busy, and I was like, well, he probably ain't gonna get out in time to get my food, my breakfast, because I like McDonald's breakfast, but I don't want anything else they have.
You know, there's something else I was thinking about the other day about when Jesus had. You better fix that. She's got her notes on her iPad and it locked out.
Yeah, because I never
But
remember
anyway,
what we got to say.
I was thinking about when Jesus, when they brought the girl that was caught in the act of adultery, and the Pharisees brought the girl or the woman to Jesus in front of him, and they said this woman was caught in the act of adultery. What do you say we do with her? And he didn't say nothing. He just knelt down on the ground and began to write. And they told him, well, before that, before he knelt down and wrote, the Pharisees said the law of Moses says she should be stoned. They was talking about the law. Well, then after they was talking about the law, Jesus kneeled down in the dirt and began to write. Scripture says with his finger, and it just come to me. I was like, what if Jesus knelt down? We don't know what he was writing, but what if he was signaling to them, saying, "Listen, I'm the one that wrote those laws." Because God wrote those laws on the tablet.
Mm-hmm.
What if Jesus was telling them, I'm the one that wrote the law of Moses? And that's why he was writing in the sand or in the dirt.
Maybe he did. Maybe they just didn't catch on to it.
Well, they didn't catch on to a lot of stuff. They was slow.
I can't say that I wouldn't be if I was back in Bible time either.
Just like he said, he told them, he said, listen, he said, I'll tear this temple down and I'll rebuild it again in 3 days. They thought he was talking about the building, but he was talking about his body.
Yeah, I would have thought he was talking about temple, the building too.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm pretty sure I should have been blonde, but
Oh, she has some kind of crazy game she wants to play later on another podcast. It's got to be played outside. It's crazy.
it's for marriage counseling if you can't afford a counselor.
Oh yeah, we'll save that. We will have to do our podcast outside for this one, so make sure you keep a lookout for that one. But we're not gonna give it away. It's crazy.
And you and Pastor wanted to do a hot chip challenge.
Yeah, I told Pastor.
He
I
ain't
said
getting me to do it.
they got these new Doritos out. They're hot or not. Is what they're called. There's hot chips mixed in with the regular Dorito chips, and you don't know which one's hot and which one's not. And I wanted her to do it with me, but she wouldn't. So Pastor said he would, as long as we had some milk close by for him. So
I got acid reflux. I can't be doing that.
I got it too.
Yeah, I'd be tore up from the floor up.
Live on the edge here a little bit.
Not that edge.
Whatever. Yeah.
But we took. Can I start my thing now?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Start your little thing you want to talk about today.
This is what I mean. We don't prepare for this. I mean, we do a little bit, but we don't like have a schedule of events.
Yeah.
Here.
What you see is what you get. We get on here and we just get at it.
I got the 5 love languages written down, and we actually took the test just a few minutes ago. And the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Well, my test, I had my top one was quality time. Alan's top one was words of affirmation. And my top one was Alan's last one on his list. So we are totally opposite. I I don't think we could be any more opposite than we already are.
Well, you got to. I didn't know
'Cause-
why you just want me to do this. I was trying to eat. And she's like, here, take this test. I'm like, I'm eating right now. She's like, well, do it when you get done.
No, I said you
So-
can do two things
so-
at one time.
I was eating with one hand, and punching the phone with the other hand, doing that test thing, and I didn't know what she's wanting to do it for. But she got the percentages of each thing. I don't know how it broke it down like that, but what's it say?
For mine, it was quality time was 30%, words of affirmation was 23%, receiving gifts was 20%, acts of service was 17%, and physical touch was 10%. And Alan's was words of affirmation was 33%, acts of service was 23%, receiving gifts was 17%, physical touch was 13%, and quality time was 13%.
So what's that mean?
Well, basically, mine is quality time and yours is words of affirmation. But mine, my main one was your last one. But your one was my second one, so I guess that's okay.
But don't my hair look good?
Yeah.
So
I told you that already.
words of affirmation.
But quality time you said wasn't mine. You thought mine was gifts.
Now I thought you liked gifts. Because you get excited when I get you gifts.
Yeah, I do.
Like,
But-
so she wants some kind of spaceship massage chair. Looks like a spaceship. She was talking about today because we got a little spat about a recliner.
Yeah, he wants
Go
a
figure.
medical lift chair. Medical lift chair.
That ain't what that
Recliner.
is.
Yes, it is.
It's a recliner. It just you hit a button, you go up and down.
It's a medical lift chair. It lifts you all the way up, so you don't have to use none of your muscles to get up. But my grandpa, he had a knee replacement, so he needed something because he couldn't bend his knee to help him get up or anything. So he really needed something to help him get up. Well, he got one, and then he found one for a bargain, so he got it too. And Alan thinks he needs to buy the one that he got for the bargain.
Well, see,
And I fussed because he just threw a recliner out
out the door.
and said, we don't
Out the
need any
door.
more furniture in here. And I'm like, Alan, you just threw one out the door and you want to bring another one in? Yeah, let's get rid of the couch. And I was like, what are you going to do when our company comes in? They're going to sit on the floor? Have a picnic?
Hey. Your cat tore up that recliner. So
You
going to
get them a little blanket and let them have a picnic on the floor?
Hey,
We got
back
a
in
wheel-
biblical times, you sat in the floor.
We got my wheelchair back there. Somebody could sit in it.
Well, yeah. Yeah, they can sit in that. Got these computer chairs. Hey, I like a lot of space. I don't like hardly nothing there.
So I came up with a solution. I said, well, we'll just get a kitchen table and set it in the living room. Because I seen one at the Shoals.
More
that I
space
liked.
the better. You know I don't like clutter.
It was a farmhouse table.
Even Jesus said you're welcome at my table.
Well, I sit at this table now since you got this table.
I set this podcast table up here. All this stuff on it, and she took it over. She used to sit in the recliner over there on the end of the sectional sofa and do word puzzles and all kinds of stuff.
Coloring.
Then when I got this table put up, she started that diamond art and she took this over. You take over everything.
Well, you got your half and I got mine.
But for some reason, it's like when we go to bed and we're sleeping in our bed. Y'all don't shake your head now. You know I'm getting ready to
I
tell
know
the truth.
you're getting ready to tell the truth.
I know.
Because I
know.
like
For
to sleep
some
in the
reason,
middle.
if y'all notice in some of the videos, she invited me over here this little here in the middle of the screen here this time. But if y'all notice, if y'all watching, I'm over this way towards the edge of the screen more. That's because she is sitting dead center of the podcast table,
It's
and it
because-
gives me no room. It's
It's
the same way
because
as
my
bed.
chair is big.
I get enough space for my body to lay down on the bed. But that's it.
We got a king size bed too. And
Yeah,
I just
she's got to have the whole
I give
thing.
him a little bit of space, just enough to sleep and kind of maybe turn over on the side.
That's ridiculous.
But he's been snoring here lately, and I'm like, turn over, because I can't sleep when somebody's snoring.
I got a question about that. Why don't you turn it over the other way?
Because I can
Instead
still
of
hear
waking
you.
me up, telling me to turn over.
I can still hear you. You're going.
Little moron.
I can still hear it, and I can't sleep.
Well, what's the rest of this you got on this thing here?
I got the importance of knowing your partner's love language is to promote healthy communication, provide insight to the way you view things, and assist with preventing problems in the relationship by managing expectations on what it means to be loved. So it kind of helps you know how to love your significant other.
I do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Are you trying to be Elvis Presley or something?
I don't know. Is that what you're trying to be?
Maybe I am.
We had to do this podcast on a Saturday night because we had a little bit of issues last week. We usually did them on Sundays, and
it really came down. We had to help family, and it was family first before the podcast.
yeah, we had to help go get my grandpa a chair, which is the one that Alan wants to buy, because he ended up not liking that one. So we had to help him, and then my grandma, she's been sick too, so she's had some issues going on. So if you wouldn't mind, keep both of them in your prayers. They're both doing a little bit better. My mama's doing a lot better, she said, and my grandpa's healing up slowly.
Yeah. I wonder if your mom got that cooler running.
No. Alan from work, he gets these coolers, like they put the drinks in up front at the dollar store.
Yeah, like you got your monster coolers, got your monsters in it, or your body armor drinks.
And he got us one, and I love it. It's a monster one.
Now, how much room does that save in the refrigerator? In your actual fridge?
Because you could put like 4 or 5 boxes of pop in there, or 12 packs, whatever you want to call them, of pop.
And the one I got your mom is even taller.
12 pack of pop. Don't y'all be thinking nothing else now.
That's right.
Because we ain't carrying none of that in this house.
We ain't got no devil's juice in here.
No. So he got mom one and took it up there Friday and yesterday. I don't even know what day of the week it is. It seems like a Sunday, and I told mom that earlier. I was like, seems like Sunday, I guess, because she came down today and brought my daughter back, and our daughter back, and so I guess that's why it seems like a Sunday. But she was gonna plug it up and clean it up when she got home, and I haven't heard back from her yet. Which we're using my phone to do the podcast on, and it's on airplane mode, so who knows?
Yeah, I can't wait till I get my new computer in. Because it's going to change this whole thing. And we can live stream to a bunch of different platforms at one time.
Oh, yeah. And on a side note, I promise y'all I won't chew gum anymore on a podcast.
Thank you.
I noticed how annoying that was. And I didn't notice you could hear that until I listened to it back. And I was like, Alan, you could hear that. Why didn't you tell me?
I can hear everything.
I know.
Ever since I messed up, didn't plug that in on the very first episode, I've always made sure I got something in my ear so I know it's playing back.
Well, you should have said.
And I can hear anything
okay,
that
I can hear you
messes
chewing
up.
your gum.
I asked her she wants to wear headphones so she could hear, because I think it's better. I can actually hear what y'all are hearing and how the audio's coming out, but she won't she won't wear them.
I hate hearing my voice. I don't like it, and I don't like seeing myself on camera. But I kind of have to here, because unless I want to stare off into space somewhere else, kind of have to. But I don't like hearing myself. So.
You ain't got no choice now.
Well, yeah, I do. I don't have to listen to it. You listen to it so you can edit.
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
Was you going to say something?
Uh-uh.
What advice do you have for a couple that they have a problem with arguing all the time? Like constantly, like over little stuff, very little stuff. That's your cat.
Sometimes you have to really focus on what is worth fighting over and what's not. So you just kind of have to I mean, I'm not the best at this because, like, we were arguing over a chair today. So I don't know if I was the best one to ask that question or not. But I mean, it was kind of small, and I was just like,
But how long did it didn't last long? It went into a joking afterwards.
yeah, it didn't last. You just have to kind of like, I guess, kind of prioritize, if I can get my words right, what is important enough to just really argue about or what's not. What something silly that you're gonna look back on and be like, that
But
wasn't even worth the 5 minutes we spent on it.
I can kind of put.
But I think you and Papa just did that to aggravate me.
Of course we did.
Because y'all are good at that. Y'all like to aggravate me.
Of course we did.
Y'all like to just stir the pot.
Yeah, we have to watch you see what you're gonna say.
Because they know what I don't like and what I do like. And Papa knows I got that virus in me. And
Yeah, we think it's funny.
I guess y'all do. But
anyway,
what's yours?
I'm gonna put my opinion here, but I don't know if a lot of people is gonna understand what I'm talking about.
Probably not.
Because I'm gonna refer this to a movie.
Oh Lord. Well, I don't know in movies.
And this movie I think came out in the 80s. It's a really good movie. It's got Rowdy Piper in it. It's called They Live. And what they do in this movie, it's like you got these government officials and people walking around, and what it is they got these glasses, and when they put these glasses on, unless you put these glasses on, you can't see the true form. They look like aliens and stuff. And if you look at billboards and TVs, if you put the glasses on, it shows something else. Like if you see an advertisement for like an energy drink, I'm gonna say you'll see without the glasses the sign for energy drink. So if you put the glasses on, it says obey, and there's just like subliminal messages you can see with the glasses on. So it's like blinders, like spiritual blinders on your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get in arguments and stuff like that, it's unless you have your spiritual blinders raised to where you can see things clearly, when them arguments come and stuff, you're not going to know what to look at. You're not going to know when the enemy's trying to attack your marriage and stuff like that. Unless you come to Christ and you submit yourself and you begin to see things differently and you have them blinders taken off, you're not going to know. Like today with this stupid chair, we realize what's going on. 4 or 5 minutes.
Do you still want the chair?
Yeah.
How about we meet in the middle and you can have the chair and sit it out on the porch?
Well, like I was saying, like we can see. We gave ourselves to Christ. We submitted ourselves to Him. And we don't have those blinders on anymore that the enemy has on us to blind us from the truth. So we have those taken away. Now when we get in an argument or something, I can see exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
the enemy's trying to come in between our marriage and cause a ruckus, cause a fuss, because that's what he likes to do, cause trouble. And then once we can notice it real quick, whether me or you won't want to admit it or not, we notice what's going on right off the bat. And we got to put a stop to it.
Well, now I can't imagine it the other way. Before.
What?
Before we were saved. Before we...
Yeah, it was nonstop, continuous.
Oh, I mean, like, I can't remember why, like, we couldn't... I guess because you're talking, like, the blinders. I can't remember why we didn't realize that we were fighting over stupid stuff back then.
Yeah, now you can.
Yeah.
Now you know what the problem was. It's like if you cover your eyes, you can't see what's going on. The guy comes along. I got my hand over her eyes in case y'all was on Spotify. I take my hand away. You can see everything. That's what Jesus did when He came by. When we gave our life to Him, He came by and He took that blinder off and He said, "Look, don't be fooled no more. Watch what the enemy can do." Huh?
You're in my space.
I know I'm in your space. He said, "Watch what the enemy's doing. He wants you to fight against him. He wants you to see everything."
Well, okay, I got a question for you. How often do you give grace to people?
I try to give grace a lot, but yeah, you know about the story about me the other day. The guy, So my buddies got on the phone. She called in, so I was talking to them. I merged her in. They said, Becky, he's about to beat this guy with a ball peen hammer. Let me tell you that story so you know what's going on. I drive a truck, and I was in, what town was that?
I don't know. Town's not really important because you don't want to give out location.
Well, yeah, it's not important. Well, I was driving through this town. It's 25, and I do exactly 25 through there because it's a small area. And I look over, there's this guy jumping up and down, throwing his hands, a squalling. I'm looking over as I go by, like, what in the world's wrong with this moron? He acting like something crazy. I go into the store, point in the parking lot, and I start to back around. He comes flying in, cuts me off, stomps me. He starts saying, it's 25 through there, it's 20. And I sit there, I was like, man. And I was trying not to say nothing. Then he kept on screaming. I was like, how fast do you think I was going? I said, I was going 25. No, you weren't going 25. I said, I know I was going 25. I was trying to be calm at first. I got people on the phone that will vouch for me because they was on the phone the whole time I was talking to this guy. I said, I know I was. I said, because I have a camera through the company that's in the windshield of this truck. I tried to explain to him. I said, listen. I was trying to explain to him why he's still screaming like some raging maniac. But I tried to explain to him, this vehicle is 100 times bigger than a little vehicle. And when it travels at 25 miles an hour, these tires cover more ground than what the little tires do. So this going to look like this big vehicle is moving faster than it does. And he kept on and kept on. I said, listen. I said, buddy, where's your radar gun? I don't need no radar gun. I know how fast you's going. I was like, listen. He kept on and kept on. Now, I finally lost my temper. I said, listen, stupid. I said, I was going 25 miles an hour. I said, I know how fast I was going. And he kept on screaming. I said, better yet, I said, you know what? And I slung the door open when I was getting out of the truck. He done pushed my button. Yeah, I was going there. And then, so he decides, oh crap, I messed up. I guess that's what he was thinking. He decides he's going to hit the gas. And he was going to fly out of the parking lot. I'm like, look at this hypocritic moron. Flying out of the parking lot, chase me down. Hard to tell how fast he took off through that town to chase my truck down.
Yeah, because the big trucks, they really do.
I said, this guy's crazy.
I can be going 55 behind Alan, and he's going 60. Or he can be going 55, and I'm going 60, and he's still way ahead of me because, like he said, the trucks cover more ground. So it seems like they're going faster, but they're really not.
Yeah, my grace, I was extending some grace.
But they really,
but
people
at that
don't
point,
know that unless they...
Well, I
guess he knows now, huh?
Well, he got a little bit more grace than he had got back in the day, I can promise you that.
Yeah, he probably did.
Because the first time he swung over and cut me off, I had to come out the truck in the first place. Well, if you notice a cut right there, that's because Beck's cat had got wrapped up in all my cords and jerked the camera and the audio equipment off the table.
I think it was funny, and my facial expressions were even funnier.
I was getting into my story.
You were getting to the end of it.
I might save that clip for a little blooper or something, but we had to cut the segment right there because it was a catastrophe. That cat is fat. And he got wrapped up in these cords like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, okay. So let me answer my question that I had to you.
You gonna answer your own question?
Well, I'm gonna give my 2 cents into it. For what it's worth. I think I give a lot of grace to people. But I think I give...
I'm sorry, I was thinking about that cat.
Okay, well, I think that's going to end the podcast.
I can't. You're going to get rid of them cats or something. You got me crying on this podcast because laughing so hard. You sound like old Clydesdale laughing. Are you ending this podcast? Because I don't know if I can handle much more. In this thing, because it ain't gonna be nothing but laughing on this whole thing, and they ain't gonna get nothing out of it.
Well, that's it for this episode of the Bulletproof Marriage Podcast.
We'll see you guys later. We
Bye.
love you. God bless.